welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my June purchases and empties. So I'm gonna go over all the products that I purchased in June as well as all the products that I finished in June. And we're just gonna talk about them, whether I think I made good purchasing choices, whether I would repurchase the products that I finished, all that good stuff. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, there's actually a decent amount of products this month. It's gonna be a longer video, so let's just get started. All right, let me just address one thing before I start, and that is the background. I am trying to play around with the lighting in my room and just get more even light. I'm not very savvy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm just testing some stuff out. This next month in July, you might be seeing the background change a lot. I'm really just testing it until I edit this video and know I won't know. So we're getting a different angle, but I don't want to rearrange my background until I know that this is where I want the setting to be. I hope that makes sense. Unfortunately, it's a little messy. This is real life. I have my winter clothes there that I haven't put upstairs. I have like some stuff here that's usually next to my perfume display, like the little stuffed animal my niece gave me, my sample cards. It's a mess, but that's real life, like I said. And for this video, you're just gonna have to stick through it with me. We're gonna do it together. I hope that's okay. And you might notice the background changing a bit in videos sporadically throughout July. After that, let's start with all of my purchases, I think, for this month. This month for June was my first month coming off of my low buy. I was doing a low buy starting in January of 2024, putting some rules in place and really just trying to curb my impulsive spending. And last month was the first month I kind of lifted that and just wanted to see how I did with no rules, but still being mindful and thoughtful on my purchases. So let's go over what I bought. This is just my prop bag. I didn't actually buy this at Sephora. I did buy quite a bit of things, I will say that. Let me start with what's on my face today. I bought the Yensa, the foundation stick. So I am doing a wear test on this today as we're speaking. So if the foundation's looking a little bit weird, it's not my favorite so far. We're gonna see how the day goes, but there's been some issues with this. This video will be coming maybe like in the middle of the month, a little bit later in the month, but I'm so far not loving this. We'll just see how this goes. I haven't tried anything from Yensa, which is why when they launched this foundation, I really wanted to try it, but I don't know. We're gonna wait and see. The next foundation that I purchased is the Charlotte Tilbury foundation stick. I'm also iffy on this one. I have not tested this yet as I'm filming this, but this video testing and doing my wear test will probably come up before the Yensa just because this is a little bit newer. So I'm interested to see. This was maybe my one and only impulse purchase because when she announced this, I kind of wrote it off. Even though I've loved Charlotte Tilbury foundations in the past, this didn't sound like a product I would like, but I don't know. I'm just very confused on this. And this is just like my pre-thoughts, not trying this. I just was going back and forth, like, no, I'm not gonna get it. It doesn't sound like the type of product I would like. But then it launched and I was like, well, I'll just give it a shot. That's why it was more of an impulse purchase. I'm just kind of regretting it and thinking I'm not going to like it. I'm going to try and go into my wear test with an open mind, but I'm thinking that this is just going to be too glowy for me. We'll just wait and see. I'm not going to keep babbling on about it. Non-eyeshadow palettes that I bought. I did buy the new Givenchy Prisme Libre loose powder in the new shade. This launched in Europe already, so I have the color 00 Tulle Opalescence. And because I bought that, I actually at the same time bought the pink powder. So this is 03 Vol Rosé. And I already filmed my video comparing the two of these side by side. I believe that video is gonna go up next week, like Sunday or Tuesday, something like that. So stay on the lookout for that video. But I've really liked the Givenchy pressed powder that I have. So when they announced the new shade, that was kind of more of a lavender shade. I only have the box. I have it in my speed review drawer. So let me pull the actual product. It looked more like a lavender, so I was a little bit more interested in the new shade, but everyone talks about the pink. And since I got the minis, I decided I could get both basically for the price of the full size. So I ended up doing that. And you know, I'm pretty happy with this purchase. The pink loose powder I've even talked about in videos was a powder that's kind of been on my list for a while. I know I like the Givenchy powders. I kind of just wanted to do a color comparison. Did I need both? No, but I'm still happy that I purchased it. And then when I did that video, which you'll see, I compared it to my pressed powder that I love. I have the 01 in the pressed powder. A lot of people have had trouble finding that in the US, and when I was doing that video, I went to link the pressed powder if I could find it, and it looks like they're discontinuing the pressed version. I don't know why. The pressed powder to me is so much better than the loose powder. I just prefer a pressed powder, but because it looks like they're discontinuing it, maybe because it wasn't a huge success, but they also like really didn't release it in North America. So I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Anyways, I saw it was like heavily discounted on all the websites. So I picked up a shade in it. I picked up the shade 2 Satin Blanc. So now I have shades 00, 1, 2, and then 3. So I have 4 of the powders, which yes, I really don't need, but I do really enjoy this pressed powder version. And I didn't necessarily want to buy a backup of shade 1 that I already had. I kind of wanted to get shade 2, which is meant for light skin tones. So the 01 pressed I can use more for brightening, and this should be able to match like an all over face setting powder if I want. I'm excited to try this. It was like $25, so I don't regret it at all, quite honestly. I'm happy that I purchased this since I got it so heavily discounted, and it looks like they're discontinuing it. This is a product that I know that I love. I really try not to buy backups of things. Like I try to just use it, love it, give it its chapter and move on. But since I got a different color, I kind of found myself a little loophole. After that, I bought something else that was on my wish list. And that's what I mean by like, I don't think that a lot of these were impulse purchases, because they're things that I've kind of had on my wish list. And my husband one night was like, hey, like buy yourself something. And I was like, yes, okay, no problem. And I bought the YSL bronzer that I've been wanting. So the story with this is I actually had this. My husband bought it for me for Valentine's Day, but he bought me shade 1 when I wanted shade 2. And that doesn't sound like a big price, or that doesn't sound like a big shade jump, but it really was. So I exchanged it, but they didn't have shade 2 when I went back into Sephora. So I ended up exchanging it for something else. I think I got a Chanel quad or something like that. Anyways, I finally have the YSL bronzer that I've been wanting since it launched. Here's what shade 2 looks like. I am very excited to try it. The packaging just is so luxurious. I fell head over heels in love with the YSL quads. So this powder is anything like the powder formula of the eyeshadows. It's gonna be fantastic. And I've actually picked up a few higher end bronzers as of recent. Like I picked up the Gucci bronzer. I have the Tom Ford. I kind of want to pick up the Giorgio Armani and the Dolce & Gabbana. I don't know if I'm going to, maybe sometime down the future, but then I'm kind of thinking I could do like a luxury bronzer roundup video and kind of compare shades. So that's the YSL bronzer. And then I have 3 palettes. Sitting down to film this, I didn't think that I purchased that much, but kind of looking at it now, I feel like I did. That's okay. It is what it is. I'm not going to hide my purchases. So the first thing I purchased was from Gloss Gods, and I finally picked up the Let's Get Nude palette. So they announced this palette. I love Gloss Gods. I actually just became like an affiliated with them. So I'll put my link down below if you want to save some money purchasing from them. But I've talked about them a lot in the past. They announced this palette and I wanted it, but it wasn't something I was planning on getting right away. Then the sequence of events, of course, my very good friend on YouTube, Bridget, she got this palette and she reviewed it. And I was like, man, now I want it more, of course. So I wanted it more. I kept looking at it. And then Gloss Gods did a 25% off sale. And I was like, okay, well, I feel like the universe is speaking to me. I need to get this palette. And so I did. Now I did wait until the last day of the sale. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I really tried to think about it like, am I purchasing this because it's on sale or because I want it? And I decided ultimately, like, I really want it. I've really loved all of my palettes from Gloss Gods. This isn't a color story that I wouldn't get use out of. So I purchased this and I'm so excited to play with it. I mean, I already know this is going to be awesome and fantastic and beautiful and all the positive words that you can say about a palette. I do just really enjoy that they're not just neutrals. We got some purples in there, some iridescent shades that I love. So I'm very excited to have this palette. And of course, I will link my friend Bridget's channel down below if you want to check out her review of this palette. And then I only have 2 things left, I swear. The 2 other palettes that I purchased are both new to me brands. Well, it's from the same brand. And it's from Kema Cosmetics. I think that's how you say that brand. I've been seeing a lot of buzz about this brand, specifically for the Skulls and Roses palette. This has also been on my list to pick up, but I kind of was just waiting for the right time. I was kind of like hemming and hawing about it. And when I talk about my wish list, like the way I personally do it is I'll just write down everything that kind of catches my eye. And every so often when I add something new, I will go through the list and kind of double think things and see if I can curate the list at all. Like, oh, I'm not really interested in this anymore. I'll take it off. And then if I forget about it, I won't add it back. And if I do think about it, sometimes I'll add it back. But for the most part, I really don't once I take it off my list. So this shade has been on my list for a while. The Kema Cosmetics Skull and Roses. And here's what this one looks like. The reason why I was kind of a little bit back and forth is honestly this red. Like, I feel like if you take this red away, this is definitely more my color story. So for one shade, it's fine. I think it's beautiful. I'm excited to like try out these shimmers. It is a little bit like darker and sultry than maybe like I wear on an everyday, but I'm hoping I can get some good looks out of it. This shade Sorcery is like a multi-chrome. If I can get it to shift, I think you can see it that way. So really excited to try this palette. But the reason I finally just bit the bullet and purchased this is because they released the Boujee Boudoir palette. And this I was like, okay, this is 100% my color story. I'm gonna pick it up. And while I'm just paying for shipping, let me just get the Skull and Roses at the same time. So it looks like people are really loving this palette. It took a while to get to me. Seems like it was a little bit faster to other people. She shipped it right away. I'll give her that. Like, I got a shipping notification right away. It's just the post took a while to deliver it. And I mean, the most beautiful indie palette you could ask for. I mean, what more can I say? You have just the perfect amount of romantic, soft neutrals. You have indie shimmers. I mean, it has a place in my heart. I don't know how the formula is going to be. I'm going to test it out, obviously, and see what I think. But even like mixing these two together, I think they could be good companion palettes. Not that I often do that. But if you wanted to, if you also think Skull and Roses is a little bit dark, then that's something to think about. But I'm very happy that I was able to pick this up. I used, I don't have a code with them, but they do have codes. And I used Cole's code from Cole of the Ball. So I'll put her code up above if you want to save 10%, because these are not the most inexpensive palettes. and I'm happy I purchased them. That's everything that I picked up though. Seems like a lot, it does, but I'm still happy with my purchases. I've definitely purchased more in a month. There's nothing really so far in July that's catching my eye other than the Danessa Myricks concealer, but I mean, we're still early in the month, so we'll see. Some things that I'm debating on that I would love your feedback on is the Cosmic Brushes palettes, so the Cooltrals and the Neutrals. Every day my opinion's different. Like one day I'm like, no, I don't really need those, and then the next day I'm like, but I do. So let me know what your thought is on those palettes. I'm definitely not going to pick up the Nomad palette, the Florida Keys one. The Blend Bunny is also one that I'm kind of going back and forth on, only because I want to try that color. I want to try Blend Bunny's formula so bad, but I'm just not sure if the color story is fully speaking to me. And I was also comparing the Blend Bunny color story to the Cosmic Beauty color story, and there's like a very similar green. I can't remember if it's in the Neutrals or the Cooltrals. I think the Cool Tone one. It has like that very similar sagey, mutey green that I love. So I don't think I need both. I don't know. I'm kind of just speaking out loud here, but I would also love your feedback on what palettes like spoke to you, because I am trying to not buy every palette that gets released. I do love Cosmic Beauty's formula. I know that. Blend Bunny I haven't tried, but everyone loves Blend Bunny. I think for Blend Bunny, like, I think I just need to hold out. What's really just like messing with my heart and my brain is that I want to try their formulas so bad because everyone talks about them. But I'm going to wrap up this portion. Let me put this all away and we're going to talk about my empties. I had a really great month for empties. Now, July's not going to be that great because I really just had a lot of products that had like this much left in it, and I was trying to almost clear out all those products that just had a couple uses left. So this month's bigger. Next month, probably not, because I'm going to be opening brand new things. I even have some makeup empties though, and that doesn't always happen to me. So let's just get started. Of course, hair care, trying to get through all of my samples. I have the Pureology Hydrate. I think this is my only one of it. I have so many samples of these, just trying to get through all of my shampoo samples. Like I literally have 2 gallon-sized Ziploc bags of shampoo samples. I'm pretty sure I don't need to buy shampoo and conditioner for another year or so. Because I also have some full size. I'm not buying any more hair care until I'm finished with the category that's in my backup. So I have these, they're nice, used them before. Also have the Redken volume injection. I quite liked this. This was my first time trying this specific line, and I actually think I liked it more than the Pureology. I am not a picky hair person. I don't do a lot with my hair. I mean, I don't color it. I cut it myself. I wash it and I air dry it. I wish I could be more of a hair person. I'm just not. I could do my makeup 5 times a day, but doing my hair just seems like a chore. Honestly, I usually keep it pretty short. This is the longest it's been in probably 20 years. It's been a long time since I've had hair this long. Back to this. I like this a lot more than the Pureology, which is surprising because I had the Pureology on my list to purchase next, but I like this, and now it's kind of beating the Pureology. I think that's all of my hair care though. Let's save makeup for last, and let's do body care, skincare. It's kind of all the same. I really just have skincare and makeup. So let's just do skincare / body care. I have 2 packs of these little patches from Skyn Iceland. I brought these on my trip to Louisiana. So the first one is the Hydro Cool Firming Eye Gels. This had 8 pairs in them. So I just brought the whole pack and used them all up. I had like kind of event things that I was doing. Like I had my brother's graduation ceremony. We did family photos. I shared with my sister, my sister-in-law, etc. So I use these. These are my favorite because they're not wet. They don't come in the tub. I like them a lot. They're just really pricey, and I try not to use them all the time. But they are my favorite. And when Ulta does a sale on them, I always pick them up. And then I also have just this pack. It's a facelift in a bag. So this has 2 pairs of eye gels, 2 pairs of smile line gels. So you put them here. Forehead gels, so you put it on your forehead clearly. And that's it. It actually does a lot. Like, you would think that that sounds silly and it wouldn't do a lot to your skin, but I notice a difference when I use this. And because these are so pricey, I really do only use these on special occasions. And this was a special occasion. So I used those up. I didn't want to keep the individual bags. I just kept the big bag. Lotion. I have another one from my KL Polish stash. This is the hand cream. I purchased a ton of these when KL Polish went out of business. They were like $2, so I'm trying to just get through them. I don't use it as a hand cream. I use it as a lotion. It's okay. It's like a standard body cream. I think you get similar at Target. Let's see. The rest like skincare. I think so. Let's go over samples before full size. I'm just gonna kind of pull them. I have 2 little mini moisturizers, one from La Roche-Posay. This is the Double Wear Face Moisturizer. It was nice. You know, I haven't found anything from La Roche-Posay that I've like loved. Then I also have the CeraVe Ultralight Moisturizing Lotion. This is for the morning. It has SPF in it. It's okay. If I was like in a pinch and needed something, I would purchase this. And then this is I think this is the Clear Filter Sun Essence with 50 SPF. I don't know who this is from. I got this as like a sample from one of my Yes Style orders. It was a nice sunscreen, but it doesn't beat my holy grail, which is this one. This is the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Daily Sunscreen. Also has SPF 50. This is now my 2nd full bottle that I've gone through since I've tried it. Yes Style actually sent me one for free to test out first, and I liked it so much I bought another one. I love this sunscreen. I like it specifically because it leaves a more natural matte finish. It doesn't leave your face looking like ultra glowy greasy. I don't like that personally because I'm already gonna sweat and get oily myself. I don't need a product to help me with that. So I will buy another one of these. My method is that I have to finish a sunscreen in my backup before I use this again. So once I get through a backup sunscreen, I will repurchase this. I absolutely love this. And once I'm done with all of my sunscreens, this will be the only face sunscreen I purchase go forward. Some other samples is this. This is the Shiseido Moisturizing Gel Cream. I actually really didn't like this. Surprisingly, I've liked other Shiseido moisturizers. This one I didn't like. It was like a gel cream, but this is one of the most heavily fragranced products I've ever used on my face. And because of that, I just wouldn't repurchase. I don't mind fragrance, honestly, but when it's so overpowering, like I can feel it counteract the moisturizing properties because I can feel like the alcohol in the fragrance, like sucking the life out of my skin. Like they're just battling between moisturizing and sucking the life. So this I would not repurchase. After that, I forgot a hair product. This is the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask. I think I use this, like I run out of shampoo before conditioner. I know that it's usually opposite for people, but I do. So I use this kind of to make the bottles last an equal amount of time. It's okay. I've tried so many of those. They just give those away for free. Next, after that, I have some cleansers. I'm trying to keep it. I'm just going to grab. I'm trying to like put in categories. There's no point. I have the Skin Pore Cleansing Oil. This has BHA in it. This was nice. Not my favorite cleansing oil, honestly. I think I found kind of the one that I prefer, which is the L'Occitane. There was also one from Skin that I liked a lot that didn't have like BHA properties. For a cleansing oil, I don't want that because I'm going to go in with other products that are going to chemically exfoliate. So I don't need like a dual purpose product for that. I just want something to kind of be a first step cleanser for me before I go in and double cleanse. So I would not repurchase this. I would repurchase probably the rest of these. I have the Paula's Choice Exfoliate, the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant with salicylic acid. Holy grail product here on YouTube, and for good reason. I actually just finished this today, which was amazing. This took me like a year to finish because I don't use it all the time, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week when I kind of notice my skin's getting a little bit more texture. So it lasts a long time. I actually have a small size of this that I need to finish, but I will repurchase this once I get through it. It's a step that I like having in my routine, not my daily routine, but it is something that I use quite often. And then I also have this cleanser. This is the Korres Greek Yogurt Foaming Cream Cleanser. One of my holy grail cleansers. I like a cleanser that's creamy, not gel, and I like it to foam. This does everything. It's literally in its name, so I will repurchase it. I've gone through multiple tubes of this. So after I get through some of my cleansers, same old story. This right now is probably the one that I would repurchase. It's not that expensive, but it does the job. And I just like how it doesn't leave my skin feeling stripped. That's kind of how I feel with cream cleansers and why I don't love them. But I also like the foaming properties of a cream cleanser. So that's why I get along with this one so much. This product took me a long time to finish. I mean, a long time. This is the SLMD Acne Body Spray. So this has salicylic acid as well. It has like a spray, like a setting spray. And it basically is just supposed to treat body acne. The reason why it took me so long to use this is that this is a product I really only use in the summertime when like I'm extra sweaty, and I mostly will use it on my chest. So if I notice that my chest is starting to break out a little bit, which it does, like in the summertime, I'll get like small breakouts. I will spray this after my shower at night, and in the morning, that breakout usually has gone away. This stuff is a miracle worker. I love it so much. My skin, as far as acne, really responds to salicylic acid. So this is something I would repurchase. I have still some kind of product that I got for free. I don't remember who it's from. I don't remember the brand, but it is an acne body spray like this. So I'm going to first finish that one, see what I think, but it would be hard to beat this because I really do quite like it a lot. And some other things that I just finished up, the Kate Somerville Retinol Vita C Power Serum. This is an expensive product. I mean, I think it's $100. It works really well. I did notice a difference when I use it. Kate Somerville has excellent products and they work really well for my skin. They're just super pricey. I like this. The only thing about it that I didn't like is one day it just stopped working. Like one day it was just empty and that was it. You have no way to really tell when this is getting close to being done because it's very weighted. It actually feels very nice. It feels very luxury. But because it's weighted, you can't tell when it's like starting to get empty. After that, I do really like it. You have to use this a little bit faster because it has very active ingredients that you don't want to go bad. But this is something I would repurchase. I think it's worth the price, quite honestly. I know Ulta will sometimes do sales on Kate Somerville products. So maybe like next time I see a sale and if I'm getting low on vitamin C serums, retinol serums, I would probably repurchase that. And then we just have a few more things. I have the Wishful Honey Whip Peptide Moisturizer. This was 55 grams, 1.9 ounces. Completely finished this up. This took me 2 or 3 months to finish. I don't know. I was using it for a while only at night because I was finishing the Shiseido. But then once I finished the Shiseido, I went to using this as a day and night cream. I've used this before. I actually got a sample of this from Huda Beauty one year, and since then I've loved it. So this is my first full size that I've emptied of it, but I would repurchase it. What I like about this is that it's a great day and night moisturizer. So by that I mean it's lightweight to wear during the day, but it's also rich and adds a lot of hydration where you feel like you're getting that extra hydration at night. And I'm kind of just over having a nighttime moisturizer and a daytime moisturizer. I want to just streamline my skincare more and more and more as I get older. Like, I want less products, but effective products. And for coming from like a makeup brand, I actually think like Wishful has some really good items, and I like this a lot. It's fairly priced, I think, and I probably would repurchase it. I know there's maybe like some moisturizers in the running to this, but I can't remember them right now off the top of my head. So right now, this one's winning. I have 2 more products before we get into the exciting makeup empties. Both are kind of mask products. Let's talk about this first. This is the Oskia London Renaissance Mask, Brightening and Resurfacing Mask. I have like 1 more use in this, and I've had this on my counter, kind of like in front of my face, like, hey, you have 1 more use, just use it so you can put it in your empties. I got like 7 uses out of this mask for being this small. I mean, it's 15 mLs. I guess it's not that small, huh? It looks small, but half an ounce, that's not bad. I really liked this. This is a really good mask. I have nothing bad to say about it. It is brightening and resurfacing, but not too harsh. Your skin doesn't burn. You kind of leave it on and then rub it in. After a couple of minutes, it turns white. I quite like this on days, again, where like I felt like the texture was just really coming out. I could use this and be set for a while. Sorry you hear my dogs barking. I live on a farm. I've said this before, but they're just guarding the farm and they're going to do what they're going to do. It's my dog's actually the biggest culprit of all the dogs that are on this farm. So really like this, would repurchase it. And then the last thing is one of my absolute holy grails. This is the Declor Balm de Nuit, the night balm is what that means. And this is my 3rd jar. I will continuously repurchase this. I love it. To me, this is better than a face oil. You kind of use it the same way on days that your skin really needs that hydration in the wintertime. This is a godsend. And I love it so much. It kind of has like a Vaseline feel, but it smells very spa-like. I actually picked this up when I got like a facial one time and they upsold me because I'm a sucker, and I purchased this for like $60. And then I loved it so much that I went to repurchase it and found out it's like $25. So I've purchased 2 since then. This is my 3rd empty, and I definitely will be rebuying this. Maybe not right away, but definitely before winter. All right, let me go talk to my dog and we'll talk about my makeup empties. The birds were birding, and honestly, I understand that's pretty unacceptable for them to be doing that. Let me go over my makeup empties. Now, a lot of this is spoiler for Project Pan. Project Pan will be coming next Thursday, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to go over it anyways. I have my Tarte sample card, and this was for the Face Tape foundation. I used 2 of them. The other 2 are just too dark for me. Quite like this foundation. If I didn't have so many in my collection, I would consider purchasing it, but absolutely not. I will not be purchasing this foundation. I didn't love it enough to run out and go buy it, but Tarte actually sells like travel sizes of their foundations. I would potentially pick up a travel size. I did quite like this one. Concealer. I finished a concealer. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I love this concealer. It is very full coverage and quite matte. So if you like a hydrating or you are prone to creasing, you may not love this, but I will say like this concealer will just cover everything that you want to cover. It's not super matte. It's not super creasy, but I will say if you're extra prone to that, you just might not like it, but for a drugstore concealer, you just can't go wrong. The last 4 things that I have to talk about are lip products, and that may not be exciting to you, but it's super exciting to me because I do not use lip products that often other than chapstick, and my goal this year was to finish at least 12 lip products, lip liner, chapstick, lip gloss. I don't care what it was. I just wanted to finish 12 lip products, and I think that I actually can do it. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm at least halfway there. I've got to be more than that because this is 4 right here. I have 2 lip liners, both from Dior. So this is the Dior Automatic Lip Liner, Rouge Liner in 436 Caramel. Really enjoyed this. You can see like a little tiny nub in it, so I can at least swatch it. It was kind of like a dark rosewood mauve, but I can't get any out. Like it on my lips, like now I'm just scraping plastic on my skin. So there's really nothing left in here. I actually love this color. I went to look to see if I could buy a backup, but this color is discontinued. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye to this. And then the next lip liner from Dior, this was like a glossy lip liner is what they described it at. I've talked about it at length on my Project Pan, so I'm not going to go over it. The component was getting real tough here. Like this bottom part kept coming out. And as you can see, it is completely gone. I just had the little last nubbin fall out, and this is where it ends. There's no more product after that. I sharpened it as much as I could. I'd give you a swatch, but I can't. This was a glossy lip liner, which is so bizarre to me. It was called Glossy Pink, and I found it to have no purpose as a lip liner. I used it as an all-over lipstick. I actually would use this lip liner with it, and then I would just fill in my lips with this, and it created a really nice lip combo. I loved it, but it is time to say goodbye, and I have 1 less lip liner, 2 less lip liners in my collection. And then the last 2 products that I have, one's just a chapstick. I know it's not that exciting, but I actually don't lose my chapsticks like a lot of people say. I can usually finish them up, and the little thing fell out. Here's what it looks like, completely empty. I dug it out. This is from Swamp Gloss. They actually do like indie polish, but I really like this chapstick. It was in the scent, the flavor, Orange Creamsicle, and it for sure was Orange Creamsicle. Liked it a lot. I have another one of these, I think in like Red Fruits from Swamp Gloss, and I would actually consider purchasing their lip balms again. I quite liked it. It was hydrating. It was pretty emollient, very Vaseline feeling. I know I say that a lot, but it had that like consistency of Vaseline, but gave like good hydration, wasn't like too slippy slidey. I liked it. I'd repurchase it. And the last thing is the mini Huda Beauty Silk Balm. I have the shade Blush. I pulled the stopper out and everything. So very excited about this. This I had in Shop My Stash, and then I finished it. It's in the shade Blush, but it really has like no color to it, a very, very slight pink. I'm debating on like what I want my lip gloss collection to look like once I've curated it a little bit more. And this is one I would probably keep or repurchase because I like how it stays on your lips. It's nourishing on the lips. It doesn't come off right away. Like it lasts a good amount of time. You don't have to reapply very often. And it's not super sticky. Like it is very silky. It's a gloss. I mean, I'm going to say it's a little bit sticky because it's a gloss. I just feel like because it stays on the lips and nourishes throughout, like my lips don't feel dry after using it, which is all I want in a lip gloss. I find it very nice, comparable to the Lawless Forget the Filler, but a little bit more sticky and long lasting than that. So those are the differences, and those are kind of the 2 that I'm debating between as far as purchasing. After that, that's all of my empties, all of my purchases. Let me know what you think down below. Next month, I don't know what my purchases will look like, but my empties are gonna be a lot lower than this for sure. I have a couple things I'm still very close on finishing, but after that, I'm gonna be starting in new full-size products. So there won't be that much. It's going to take me a couple months to get through those, but that's okay. We ebb and flow around here and we just follow along for the ride. So let me know what you think down below, how you're doing with your collection, if you're trying to get through all your backup stash like I am. After that, that's where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.